So what's up? It's what is it today? Goodness, every time. It's Thursday, about 9 o'clock here in Korea, and we're back with session 10 of the Thoughts Out Loud experiment. Um, man, so yesterday actually went over pretty well. Man, I got a lot of distractions this morning. I'm a little late getting the show in place. Yeah, I guess let me backtrack. I'm a little late getting the show up and running. We had so much going on yesterday and got to sleep really late. Woke up late, of course, and got to talking to my brother. And now that's the problem. Thoughts out loud is supposed to happen first thing in the morning. Never hop on Facebook. Never hop on social media. Just that should be the rule. To just get up, get something to drink, wake up, wash my face, and then jump. Get dressed and come on here and do thoughts out loud. And then look at don't look at anything before I do it. Just the first morning thoughts, and you start with a recap of yesterday. So yesterday, it's so loud here. Yesterday went really well. Actually, the goal or the focus was to actually pay attention to or to actually move forward with the planning and things like that, and plan things out for next year. Um, Also, the focus. Okay, well, so that part went great. We got started on it. Started working on our. Got started on it. Made some progress on it. I'll go into tomorrow. In tomorrow's thoughts out loud session, I'll go ahead and go into how we did it and the things like that. Um, but today, I wanted to talk about the thing I pushed to the right yesterday, and that's the paralysis through perfectionism. When I was younger, I remember doing this all the time. For school projects, I would always figure out, or I always get the project in school. The teacher would tell me, explain to us what the project was, and I would be like, just brainstorming about all the different ways I can make this project awesome, and all the different things I could do, what I can get planned, and how I can get this great grade and have this project that I'm really proud of. And I just started like my imagination started running wild, and like I don't know, like getting not really getting away from me, but I just started like brainstorming, like just started dreaming right away almost, and said, oh, I'll do this and I'll do that and I'll do this. And what would always happen, even from back then till, and the reason I'm going back that far, is because I kind of do that now. Like I've done it my whole life up to this point, but even from elementary school, I remember not starting the project or starting the project late because it wasn't going to do or it wasn't like the way I had imagined it. And I remember it causing me so much. I remember like it led me to like procrastinate, start the project late, and eventually get a worse grade than I needed to get if I had just started the project right away and not so much abandoned like the dreams, but like operated within my reality. So what used to happen, not operate within my reality, because that makes it seem like you're limiting yourself, but like there's no reason to be like, oh, I'm gonna do this project. I'm gonna get some construct. I'm gonna get this construction paper and blah 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 and all these things that I'm gonna get, and then not do anything until I get that construction paper. That's what I mean by paralysis through perfectionism. Like, okay, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold off until I get this stuff and start doing it. And that was a real problem for me, even in high school. Like it went back. Hold on, they're gonna get some noise here. Oh, that's what's going on. That was real close. That was almost a problem. Okay, we might have to cut this out. Dang. All kinds of distractions today. All kind of problems today. I'll be right back once I get this figured out. You can see I'm not bullshit. I got a problem. I'm back. I don't even want to touch it. I'm sorry. So yeah, paralysis through perfectionism. Just the idea, like you got the idea in your head, and you're not gonna take any and not taking any action until things are lined up perfectly, or until you get like the all the items you wanted, or until you get like to a certain point, or until you just until you're ready, until it's like perfect, until the project's gonna come out exactly the way you planned, exactly the way I planned. I do that all the time. I do that now. Like I do that with Soul Weaver now. I do that with the thoughts out loud experiment is the first thing that I'm like forcibly, consciously not doing that with. Like it's not perfect. I do it with editing videos. I do it with editing podcasts. I got all kind of footage that just doesn't make it to the public because it's not perfect, and it's a real problem. It's a real problem that I'm trying to solve. So I think it's the number one contributor to wasted time and wasted effort on my end. So that's a real, if anybody catches this out there, if you guys run into this and you see something like a TED talk, or you hear some podcast, Tim Ferriss or somebody, one of these guys talk about this, let me know because I'm doing a little less consumption now. I'm gonna cut back on podcasting and YouTube videos, and gonna probably do more audible and things like that while I'm in transit, or while I'm moving from one point to another, which is just in transit. That's what I talked about yesterday, just reiterating myself like Mojo Jojo. And no, like just when I'm busy, like if I'm cleaning up the room, I'm gonna turn on an audio book. I'm gonna do that. But right now, I'm starting to realize that I really need to create. Like I really need to move forward and just take action and make things happen. And when I'm doing that, while I'm doing that, paralysis through perfectionism cannot be a thing. Like it has to stop. It's not gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be exactly the way I want it. And there's gonna have some aspects where it's just gonna upset me. But just need to push through that upset, or push through that feeling, push through that emotion, and just get the content created and get it out there. My voice just cracked. That's a good example of paralysis through perfectionism. There's a part of me that wants to stop this right now and go back, since the video is already going to be edited because of the kerfuffle that happened with the with the damn mic and the noise in the background. It's just rough, man. I have a hard time doing this. So anyway, yeah, it's all falling apart. Let's move that closer. That's my mic. Oh, that's my lens. Let's move the camera around a little bit. So yeah, this is something. All this that just happened, I gotta leave it in the video because that's what Thoughts Out Loud is. It's turn it on, turn and burn, like turn the camera on, turn the mic on. Unless there's a catastrophe, then it all gets put in Thoughts Out Loud, and that's how I desensitize myself to the mistakes and things like that I don't want, like in the video. It's how make editing easier when I over explain things. It's how I just all these things that really slow me down. It's how I get over the hurdle of like making imperfect content. So it's been a real, I don't know, it's a real concern for me. Um, and I hope this really helps. I really hope this helps with that in mind. You know, some of you might like the fact that I just kicked my tripod and it almost sent the camera like selling down. If I broke my camera, I've been so pissed. So today, one thing that didn't happen yesterday, great things happened yesterday. I'm gonna go through and talk about it on tomorrow's Thoughts Out Loud episode or session. But one thing that didn't happen yesterday is I didn't finish up my blog post while I was doing it. I got interrupted. So that's the main focus for today. Hopefully, in Thoughts Out Loud tomorrow, I'm saying, hey, that post is done. It's out. It's been a focus for the last 10 Thoughts Out Loud. And this is why I do this. This is why I do it, because I can put a number to how long I've been talking about getting something done and really be like, man, I don't even want to mention that in the next video or in the next session of Thoughts Out Loud. Let me just knock it out today. So that's hopefully what's going to happen with this post. So that's all I got. That's the main focus today. That and finishing up the planning that we didn't get done yesterday. We did an awesome job yesterday. I can't wait to talk about that tomorrow. And then, yeah, I'll see you in the next Thoughts Out Loud. I think we'll go ahead and post every 10th Thoughts Out Loud on social media. I'm not sure. We'll figure that out in a minute. But we'll check you out in session 11.